It's 3:30 on Saturday morning, and last night it stopped raining for quite a long time, and I was woken up about half an hour ago by this. It's more really torrential rain. At the moment we're sleeping without air conditioning. We've got a fan on and we've got the windows open, so we can hear the noise outside, and it's really loud. It's really starting to worry me now. With the amount of flooding that's already occurred, this is just what isn't needed, and if this goes on for much longer, it's going to make the situation really bad. The really torrential rain last night only lasted for 1 hour. This morning it's still been raining, but quite lightly. Originally the forecast said the rain would stop today, but I've just looked at an article in the Bangkok Post and it says it's going to continue until Tuesday. It's the 3rd of December, and we're now going to visit one of my wife's sisters who's flooded in. She can't get out of her house with some emergency food rations. There are hundreds of cars parked along this road, which is a safe area. I guess the owners live in areas that are prone to flooding, and they've brought their cars here so the cars are safe. This is very unusual. This road is normally completely clear, and now there's cars parked all along both carriageways. This pickup truck doesn't seem to have any problems driving through the water. You see all the cars parked on the bridge over the canal. Flooding does terrible damage to cars, so everyone's trying to park their car in a safe space. And you can see the water here. And just ahead is one of the big canals that takes flood water out to Songkhla Lake, and that's overflowed. And my wife's sister lives just sort of overlooking the canal, so we can't go any further, but I think her husband is going to walk through the water here to collect the food. While my wife is waiting for her brother-in-law to come and collect the food, I'm just going to go up on the bridge and take a look down into the flooded area. Where we are looks perfectly normal this morning. As I've sort of said many times, the reason I bought a house in that area was primarily because it's in an area that doesn't flood. That's very, very important to me after experiencing the flood of 2010, which was one of the worst experiences of my life. So my wife's sister lives just down here, totally flooded. So the water's up to people's thighs here. Parked cars everywhere. In fact, they're double parked. Just one lane open on the bridge.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
I think this canal is Ro Nung, like R1, and there are several big canals like this. So there are canals in the centre of town that sort of snake through town, and all of the flood water goes into them. Then they come out into these big canals and go towards Songkhla Lake, and they're very effective up to a certain point. But when we have a storm like the one we've just had, even these huge canals can't cope. Water's flowing quickly. It's quite a current. Oh, sorry, crab. It's our neighbours. Pum ban, Maga fan crab song kon. Kwan langไม่มีปัญหา
ไม่มีปัญหาบ้านเราน้ำไม่ท่วมอยู่นอกเขตน้ำท่วม
second ambulance has just passed. I spoke to my friend Johnny yesterday, whose wife works at the Prince of Songkhla Hospital, and she knew of one death. It involves a guy in a pickup truck and a bridge. I'm not exactly sure what happens. And when I read the news this morning, it mentioned there have been 4 deaths. I still can't get over the amount of rainwater that has arrived in the last week. And it's not a small area. You know, we're talking about northern Malaysia, and in Thailand, Yala, Narathiwat, Pattani, Satun, Songkhla, Trang, Krabi, Nakhon Si Thammarat, like several provinces. It's a huge area, just a massive amount of rain. Absolutely incredible. We came out today to give some food to my wife's sister, but it seems a lot of people have just come out to see the water. That car's going through water, but it's not too deep, and the pickup truck parked here, the water's only up to its wheels, so it should be okay. Having been through this myself, I feel sorry for the people living here. While the flooding is there, it makes life very difficult. Once the water recedes, there's a huge clean-up operation, and it ruins everything. We had to throw out and replace lots of furniture in the 2010 flood. It's no fun at all. Those ambulances I saw have parked here, so obviously someone in the flooded area is in trouble, and they're waiting here with a stretcher for the person to come out. I'm not sure how they're going to come out. Maybe someone's got a small flat-bottomed boat. We're just taking a quick look around town, and most places look fine. And this area is the Cape Bad area. This is where we were living during the 2010 flood, and this area was hit really bad, but now it looks fine. So it seems that the worst hit areas were just those in very low-lying places or near to canals, but most places look fine. And I've got to give praise to the local municipality. Since 2010, they've done an enormous amount of work to improve the flood defences. I've seen this with my own eyes, with the way they've improved existing infrastructure and added extra infrastructure. But I guess the moral is that no matter how good the infrastructure is, every 10 or 15 years or so, you're going to get a huge storm that will overwhelm the flood defences. And that's what's just happened in Hat Yai and southern Thailand. What I find very encouraging is how quickly the water has receded. You know, the rain has only just stopped, and there's no sign of any water. That's really good. In the past, not so long ago, there have been big floods in Ayutthaya, and what's been notable is the length of time it's taken for the water to recede. You know, weeks, maybe months. You know, even after the rain, there was still a lot of water. So it's really good that the water has receded so quickly in Hat Yai. Another good thing about flooding here is that people just get flood water in their house. When I was watching news of the recent flood in Chiang Rai, the water mixed with earth up there, and what ended up at people's houses was really thick mud, not just water, and it made a terrible mess. And it must have been a hell of a job to clean up. But here, the cleaning up process is a lot easier. So, just to summarise, it doesn't look too bad. It's certainly not as bad as I thought. This past week I've just been staying at home, so I haven't seen it firsthand. I've been getting my updates from the news media, and they always overemphasize things and dramatize things to make things look more newsworthy. The photos I've been looking at have been really bad, but it's not actually too bad. We've been outside of the sort of central tourist district, which is fine, and I've read that the local municipality has taken special precautions to keep that area safe, so that area should be even better. So if you are planning a trip to Hat Yai fairly soon, it should be okay, unless there's another dramatic change in the weather and more heavy rainfalls. But at the moment the sky looks fairly clear. The original forecast said the rain would stop today. The alternative forecast said it would stop on Tuesday. I think it's going to be fine now. I'm certainly feeling a lot more optimistic. If there are any more changes, I'll give an update on this channel.